So, Woj, let's start with why it took as long to get where we got yesterday with the suspension as it did.
Greeny, essentially, it took until yesterday, almost really a full week from when Kyrie Irving first posted that movie to his social media, because the Nets owner, Joe Tsai, pushed back on the idea from, within his own management group, within the league office, that he should immediately punish Kyrie Irving. And instead, he wanted to go down a road of trying to educate Kyrie Irving about why that material was so harmful in the documentary, and about how Kyrie Irving sharing it to the public, the impact that has on the Jewish community and certainly the NBA community at large. And he did work with the American Defamation League, Joe Tsai did, to try to see if they could make this a teaching moment, not just for Kyrie Irving, but beyond that. And I think there were a lot of people around Joe Tsai who just didn't believe that Kyrie Irving deserved necessarily the benefit of the doubt, especially after Saturday night when he had a chance after the Nets game to repudiate what was on his platform, what he had shared. And not only did he not do that, did not apologize, he essentially doubled down on it. And that led here through the week to Joe Tsai, really going it fairly alone in trying to get Kyrie Irving to understand, issue a full-throated apology. It never happened. Adam Silver was not going to wait anymore for Kyrie Irving to do that, for the Nets and Joe Tsai to handle this. He issued a strongly worded statement yesterday. Kyrie Irving came out, had a second chance in public to repudiate what was in that film, to say unequivocally, I am not anti-Semitic. He couldn't say it, didn't say it. That's when the Nets went to the 5-game suspension. And then you saw Kyrie Irving finally, late last night, issue an apology that I think might have staved off a suspension if he had done it at any point in the previous 6-7 days.
So one of the things that it says in the suspension, in the Nets release, is that it is a suspension of at least 5 games. I forget the wording they use specifically, a minimum of 5 games. So what should we expect to happen now? Should we assume that with his having issued the apology last night, that he will now be suspended 5 games and then return? What is your expectation for what happens now?
Well, there are steps that Kyrie Irving is going to have to take with the organization, perhaps with the league, that I think they had hoped he would have done last week. He didn't. And I think, though, the apology last night, as late as it was, is probably in a way that fell short with a lot of people, I think may have been a signal from Kyrie Irving that he does want to come back from this. He does want to play again. This is a suspension without pay, and this is about $250,000 plus per game that he loses. He could appeal this with the league. You saw the wording in the Nets statement: contract conduct detrimental to the team. And so I think for Kyrie Irving and the Nets, I think their future together is very uncertain. This is a 2-6 team that's headed out on a road trip without Ben Simmons initially, no Kyrie Irving. Who knows what their record might be and where they are as an organization in going forward with the Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant era, when he might be able to come back from this. But I still think there's a lot of work and a lot of mending for Kyrie Irving to do before we really can take seriously the idea of him back in a Nets uniform.
And quickly, in the moment that I have left here, all this, and at the same time, the Nets are on the verge of hiring a new coach. Where does all of that stand? Ime Udoka, who you've been talking about, now stepping into this situation here with all of the baggage that comes with him from Boston. Where do we stand with all of that?
Greeny, I think that process, all of this was stalled the last few days in dealing with this Kyrie Irving situation. And I think now today, with Kyrie Irving suspended, I think the Nets can turn their attention back to making a final decision here on Ime Udoka, their next coach. But Jacques Vaughn, he'll coach the Nets tonight in Washington.